Welcome to my channel. It's called Lunasa. In this channel, I do a deep dive into the writings of Florence Scovel Shinn. So, if you're new to Florence, I'll introduce you to her. And if you're experienced with Florence's writings, I'll bring you some new ideas or remind you of some of the ones you may have forgotten. So, in this video, let's dive into how Florence sees God. Now, it's very different than how we have been taught how to see God, or how I have been taught how to see God. From my point of view, I was raised to believe that God is all powerful, that God is the power, all knowing, all wise, and we just, well, we're sinners, wretched, lowly, and then God is all powerful, God makes it happen, God fixes things. But that's not how Florence sees God at all. So Florence, first and foremost, sees God as not a power, but infinite intelligence. She actually says more times than not that we are the power, that we have power. So she talks about the power of the spoken word, which is a whole book that she has. She talks about the power of the word. She talks that we have the power to bless, heal, and prosper. We have power. And more often than not, that power is for us, because of us, or we are using that kind of power. God is powerful too, but she stresses how powerful we are. So, what she says in her book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, is that God is infinite intelligence. And so, infinite intelligence God is ever ready to carry out man's smallest or greatest demands. And then she has the greatest quote from the Bible. It's so extraordinary that I actually went and searched the Bible to see if it's actually in the Bible. And it is. It's so extraordinary. Florence writes, "In the scriptures we read, concerning the works of my hands, command ye me." Now, that's a bit of an old English way to put it, but it's God talking. And God says, concerning the works of my hands, you command me. So that is an extraordinary statement. God is ever ready to carry out our smallest or greatest demands. Concerning the works of his hands, you command him. Like, that is extraordinary. And Jesus says that, well, Florence says, Jesus Christ brought out that man must make the first move. Ask and it's given. You have to ask. That asking is a power move. That asking is you making that first move. So what is happening is that instead of God being like all powerful, and then we just submit and we just obey, and we're lowly in comparison to it, and we're weak and depraved, and it's like, okay, God, okay, you do you, I will obey. Instead of that, we have power. We make the first move. We set the tone. We set the ask. And then it's given. And then concerning the works of God's hands, he now knows what to do with those hands. And he starts to use that infinite intelligence to carry out what we've asked for. So we ask and God responds. And then all of that power, all of that unlimited, invincible power then goes to work for us to make it happen. I'll say it again. Instead of God being all powerful and then we're just like, okay, God, whatever you say, your will be done. Instead of that, we make the first move, we put it out there, and then that power goes to work for us. And then that power is truly infinite intelligence to figure out how it's going to happen. So we get caught up in the idea that God's power. How about God's infinite intelligence? For all the options and everything that could possibly happen, God knows how to figure it out to get you to where you want to go in the most divine way. When you ask, it can figure out how to give it. When you knock, it will figure out how to open that door. When you seek, it'll figure out how to help you to find it. It is infinite intelligence, which actually might be reassuring because the power in our stories have been, the God has been used against us and threatening us. But how about seeing God as the infinite intelligence that is going to figure things out for us to make it happen? Because really, I can't figure out a way to do X, Y, and Z, but God is infinite intelligence, so it'll be figured out. He will find a way, make a way, resurrect from the dead. It don't matter. God is infinite intelligence, and he is ever ready to carry out our ask. And then Florence also sees God as like a pool, as a source, as a pool of source and where everything we ask comes from. So she says that God is our supply. God is our infinite supply. It actually reminds me of the Tao Te Ching, where there's a paraphrase by Raymond LaRose called Shizu Zhao. Shizu Zhao. Shizu Zhao. I think that's how you say it. Shizu Zhao. And it's a really cool paraphrase. It's about a legend, a legendary figure called Shizu Zhao, and he sees the Tao, which is the level above God, in Chinese philosophy, as a well. And he says, the Tao Te Ching, in the Tao Te Ching, he says, you know, every day you go to the well and every day you take from it. You take your cup of water to make your tea, and every day it provides, and every day you have your tea, and it will keep doing that. So Florence sees God as a way, as that infinite source where you can get your supply. And there's a supply for every demand. It's a place where all things are possible. It's a place where it's the source of everything you could hope and want and dream for. Because when you're asking for things, it's not happening on the physical level down here. God is your supply, God is your source, and the supply of whatever you need, the source of whatever you need, is coming directly from God. So I don't know about you, but I've never really thought, never been taught of God in this kind of manner. The idea that God is infinite intelligence, that God is a source, a place of all things being possible, a place of supply, of infinite supply, is really different. And if Christianity or other religions has terrified you of the idea of God or upset you with the idea of God, maybe this can help you think about God differently and reimagine God so that you see the power of it and you see how to work with God. Now, the actual lesson to learn from this is just how important you are. How important you are. Because God is in response to you. God isn't the first mover, you are. God is not up there in heaven deciding what's happening in your life or what's going to happen for you or anything. And then you say, okay, great on. Okay, I'll just accept that life. No, you are the one in control. You are the first mover. You are the one asking. You're the one telling God what to do. Telling God what to do, and then that power is used to support you. That infinite intelligence is used to support you, and that supply is used to supply you. You are the first mover. So now you have to work with God in a way where you have to step into your power and your authority. You have to step up and step it up real high in order to meet God at this level. Because as Florence says, God cannot fail, so I cannot fail. Like the two of us are working together. Or she puts it another way, that with God and me, all things are possible. Like you now play a tangible role in this. You are a first mover. All the power, all the everything that God can bring, none of that's possible unless you step up. None of that's possible unless you step it up. So when you see limits in yourself, you're limiting God. When you are not asking, God has nothing to give. Now, maybe it reassures you on some level that God is not out there trying to get you to live a terrible life that you don't agree with, or trying to bring things into your life and you're like, I don't like it. Now you may be convinced that that's not happening, but now you have to step it up and realize that you are, as Abraham Hicks would say, co-creators with life, co-creators with God. Like you are now stepping it up and you are now working closely with God. And it's the two of you that are working together to make all things possible. It's the two of you that are working together to create that wonderful life. And it's not about God doing everything and you being like, okay. And I will have all the doubt, all the fear, the worry, the panic, the freakouts. I will even forget about it. I can't be bothered. No, you must always step it up, and you must keep keep that authority, keep that power, keep doing good. Keep believing in yourself, keep believing in the goodness of life and in your good. Obliterate all mental pictures of evil, erase fear from your consciousness. You need to step it up all the way because now you're going toe to toe with God in the way Florence puts it. So either that's terrifying you or it's exciting you, but either way, it's something that Florence has definitely contributed, and it's great. So the book I read from is The Game of Life and How to Play It. I always leave a copy of it in the description so you can read along. If you like these kinds of videos, that's all I make. I just focus on Florence Scovel Shinn. So if you're new to these kinds of videos, my videos just focuses on like a single idea or a single theme, and we just explore them, do a deep dive. Florence wrote these stuff about 100 years ago, but they're as relevant as ever. They're as powerful as ever. They are, they still rank up there with the very best self-help books, the very best metaphysical books, and they really allow you to see the Bible in a whole new light and to find its power. So if you like that kind of stuff, please subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, let me know, give it a like. And if you want to talk to me, if you want to reach out to me, leave a comment because I actually do see it and I actually will reply and I actually will comment back to you. So yeah, you don't just have to be a listener. You can engage with what I say and engage with me. So as I always like to end my videos, I say this all the time. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time.